About a month ago, I reviewed the iPhone 7 Plus, gave it a good review. Not to be outdone, Google has released its own flagship smartphone that it developed from the ground up with the help of HTC. Hi, my name's Andrew from AMDtech, and this is our After the Hype review of Google's Pixel XL. Let's find out if it's worth its premium price tag. Let's find out if it's a buy or a don't buy. Google made the bold decision to ditch the Nexus brand and make a flagship premium phone on their own. With the help of HTC, they developed the Pixel XL. Let's find out if that gamble paid off. What you get under the hood is a Snapdragon 821 CPU, the Adreno 530 GPU. It has 4 GB of RAM and it starts with a paltry 32 GB of onboard storage, although you can pay $100 more and get 128 GB. And it starts at $769, a very premium price indeed. The Pixel XL weighs 5.93 ounces, only 0.33 inches thick. It is pretty svelte and light and has a very iPhone-esque look to it. It is a very understated look with all aluminum except for the back, which has glass, which no doubt aids in the wireless reception. The packaging is very simple and understated, but yet classy at the same time. What you get in the box is the Pixel XL itself, of course, and a SIM ejection tool to help you obviously put your SIM into your phone. Included in the box is a USB adapter, Type A to Type C, and you have your USB Type C charging cable. And you get your charging adapter. It is a quick charge adapter. We'll talk more about that later in the video. And you get a USB Type C cable that allows data transfer from one device to another. But the star of the show has to be its 5.5-inch AMOLED display covered in Gorilla Glass 4 with a resolution of 1440 by 2560. And for those keeping score, that's 534 pixels per inch. It does get pretty bright at 433 nits, although not as bright as the iPhone 7 or some of the Samsung phones. And unlike the iPhone 7 Plus, it does not have an IP67 rating. Unlike the Note 7, may it rest in peace, I would not be dropping this in water. And surprise, surprise, look what we have here, a 3.5mm headphone jack. Take heed, Apple. Moving to one side, you get your power button and your volume rocker up and down. Moving to the other side, you get your SIM tray. Now you can get it at Verizon, retail, and you can get it from Google, but it will work with all major carriers. On the bottom of the device, you have your microphone and you have your USB Type-C. This is where you'll charge your device. And you have your one mono speaker. We'll talk more about the sound later in the video. Moving to the front of the device, you get an 8-megapixel f2.4 1080p camera. And on the back, you get a 12.3 megapixel f2.0 that can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, and a dual LED dual tone flash, and of course your fingerprint sensor on the back, just like the Nexus 6P, its predecessor. Now the Pixel XL does feel good in the hand, it does feel solid, and it's not too wide, so for a 5.5-inch phablet, I'm actually kind of impressed with the design. It's quite evident that Google tried to play it safe with the design, and that is why you're not getting those bold features or bold look that many were expecting. But they wanted to play it safe, and I think overall it's a pretty good design, nothing special, but this is not where this phone shines. That comes in its software. And speaking of the software, this of course is going to run the latest version of Android. That's Nougat 7.1. And of course, since it's Google, you're going to be getting all the latest security and all the latest updates first. Google is touting the Google Assistant as a Google Now on steroids. Let's take a look at it in action. Okay, Google, set a reminder.
What's the reminder?
Film new video review of yoga book.
When do you want to be reminded?
2 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, do you want to save this?
Yes.
Okay, reminder saved.
Okay, Google. Who is Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs' occupations are entrepreneur, film producer, and others.
Okay, Google. Who is he married to?
Steve Jobs was married to Laureen Powell Jobs.
Okay, Google. How many kids did he have?
Steve Jobs' number of children is 4.
Okay, Google. What company did Steve Jobs found?
Steve Jobs founded Apple and Next.
Okay, Google. What did Steve Jobs invent?
Steve Jobs invented iPhone, Retina display, and more.
Although not perfect, it is definitely a good start, and there is a lot of potential with Google Assistant. It really is a very souped up Google Now experience, and it is a lot better in terms of context than Siri that you get with the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. I found myself using Google Assistant far more than I thought I would. Good job on the Google Assistant, and as Google updates it, it will get even better. The Pixel XL also has a very similar Force Touch feature. If you press and hold an icon or certain icons, you get a contextual menu, as you see here. And as we stated earlier, it has a front-facing 8-megapixel camera that shoots 1080p. Selfies were pretty good, and it did pretty well in low-light situations. Overall, pretty good front-facing camera. And on the rear, you have a 12.3 megapixel camera, f2.0, and it can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second. Now, it doesn't have OIS or optical image stabilization built in, but it does make up for it in the software. I'll show you a video in just a moment. But here, as you can see, the photos came out pretty good, and it really has very good pictures overall. I was very impressed. This is one of the better cameras out there. It's got to be in the top 3 between the iPhone 7 and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. And may it rest in peace, the Note 7 as well. Even though it doesn't have optical image stabilization, Google did bake into it some certain software that emulates it. And as you can see here, very little jag, very little shaking, as my hand is shaking filming this, but this 4K 30 frames per second video actually looked pretty good. Overall, I was very impressed with the rear camera and also the front-facing camera on this device. Unlike the Nexus 6P, which had front-facing dual speakers which sounded really excellent, this device only has one mono speaker located on the bottom of the device. Let's take a look and a listen at our latest video to see how it sounds. About a month ago, I reviewed the Honor 8 by Huawei, a $400 flagship level device that Huawei released here in the United States, and I thought it was very good. There were very few compromises, but a lot of you viewers were telling me about another phone that I should review. It's the ZTE Axon 7, and I thought I'd give it a whirl. I've been using it for the past couple of weeks, and here is my review. Hi, my name's Andrew from AMDtech, and this is my review of the ZTE Axon 7. Can $400 get you flagship phone premium specs? Is it a buy or a don't buy? Let's find out. Used to be that $400 would only get you mid-level. The sound was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the Nexus 6P's front-facing speakers, but overall not bad. I wish it did have those front-facing speakers, especially like the ones we saw on the Axon 7, which were really outstanding. And for those wondering, the case you see the Pixel pictured in here is by Spigen. It has a kickstand. It's actually pretty good. Gives good protection. I'll put the link below for more information. Now, as far as performance is concerned, here's how the Pixel XL did. On the Geekbench 4.0 test, it did a 4174 on the multi-core score. That's pretty good. The Adreno 530 GPU did a 6982 on the render script score of the Geekbench test. That's another good result. On the Octane 2.0 score, it did an 8880, which is pretty good and on par with other flagships in this category. And for those gamers, on the Antutu benchmark, it did a 135,632. Actually, that was pretty good. On the 3D Mark's Ice Storm Unlimited score, it did a 28,143. Pretty good. And performance was so good on the Pixel XL, on the Ice Storm Extreme score, it maxed out. They said the test was too light for this device. Try running Ice Storm Unlimited instead. Overall, excellent performance, very good gaming phone if that's what you're into. As far as battery life is concerned, we were really impressed. Here's the deal. With heavy use, screen on time was 5 hours and 2 minutes, a very good figure indeed. Video streaming LTE did just under 6 hours. It's got a 3,400 milliampere battery. Unfortunately, it doesn't have wireless charging, but it does have fast charging. It was able to charge from 0 to 100% in an hour and 52 minutes. So basically you're getting all day battery life and you still have some juice left over at the end of the day. Of course, that depends on your usage, so your mileage may vary. So is the Google Pixel XL a buy or a don't buy? Is it worth the premium price tag? I'm going to have to say it's a buy. Here's what I like. First, I love its beautiful QHD AMOLED display. It's great performance, it's great camera. I like the fact that it has video stabilization. great battery life, Android Nougat 7.1, which means you'll continuously get updates and security patches from Google, and I love the Google Assistant, which will only get better as Google continuously updates it. And I love the Pixel launcher. It's really simple, elegant, and very functional. But here's what I don't like about the device. I think it's way too expensive. I think it's $200 to $300 more than it should have come in at. And I think its generic design was a little too safe. I thought they should have taken some more chances and be a little bit more edgier with the design. I also wish it had front-facing stereo speakers like the Nexus 6P, and I wish it had OIS, although it did do well with its video stabilization software. And they would have liked to have seen wireless charging on this device, especially since it does have a glass portion on the top portion of the back of the device. But with those negatives aside, this is probably the best Android experience you can get right now. Google has essentially made an iPhone equivalent in the Android arena. Great first try, which will only get better through updates and through time. And that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. A very good buy indeed. So what do you think about the Google Pixel XL? Is it something you're considering getting? Did you already pick one up? If you did, how's it working out for you so far? Do you think it's too expensive? Do you think it's $200 to $300 more than it should have come in at? I'm curious to know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I want to know what you think. I think that this is a phone where you need to look at the sum of the parts as opposed to the individual aspects of this phone. I think the software that Google has put on this device, the Google Assistant, the Google Pixel launcher, and the hardware all come together to try to make a good experience, and I think they've achieved that for the most part. I know it can get better. This is the first iteration, and I know they will get better through updates and through the next version, but I have to say they did very well first time out. And I know people are going to say, well, it looks a little too much like the iPhone. That's exactly what they're going after. They're going after a very simple but yet powerful experience and an elegant look at the same time. And I think they, for the most part, have achieved that. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. I also want to take a moment to thank everybody. I don't know if you've realized it, but our channel has just reached 5,000 subscribers. I think by the time this posts, it'll be close to 5,300. My goal for the year when I started this channel was to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I said to myself, well, starting January 1st, if I can get 5,000 subscribers, that will be pretty good. That'll be a good start. Well, we've already crushed that goal. We're now past that, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. I don't think we could be able to do this channel, or I couldn't be able to do this channel without the support of the viewers like you. So thank you very much. I just wanted to let you know that without you, I couldn't do any of this. But having said that, I think obviously there's room to grow, and I want your opinions. I want your feedback. It really helps me develop this channel and make better videos. So please leave comments in the comment section below on the videos to tell me how I'm doing and to tell me whether or not there are things you think I should do, things I should stop doing. It really helps me develop this channel and make better videos ultimately, and that's the goal. So here's to the future, and hopefully to get to a much higher subscriber count. But I know 5,000 maybe not be a lot, but it was my yearly goal, and we've already passed that. So I just wanted to say thank you. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you want me to review. I will do my best to try to make that happen. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya.